Hi everyone, it's Suzanne here from Anna's Flowers, showing everybody how to make your own butterfly hummingbird patio planter. Here in front of me I have a selection of flowers that attract both butterflies and hummingbirds. For example, butterflies love zinnias. I have ornamental onion here, verbena, lavender, and some alyssum. And then for hummingbirds, they tend to love the black and blue salvia, cannas, begonias, dahlias. So together I'm going to combine them into one planter so that you have a beautiful addition to your patio pots all summer long. So just because your planter's main role is to attract butterflies and hummingbirds, it doesn't mean that you have to compromise its beauty. You still want to consider the elements that it takes to make a normal custom planter and use those throughout to create your own. Meaning you want your spillers, thrillers, and fillers. So to start, I have my organic soil because you don't want to use any pesticides, and you really want to promote organic because it is for the insects. So I'm going to create a hole in the middle of my planter because you're going to see it from all angles. I'm going to put it in the middle of my patio. And I'm going to start with my tallest plant. So this one is the black and blue salvia. It attracts your hummingbirds. And because it's the tallest, I'm going to put it in the center of my planter. Next to it, also attracting your hummingbirds, is your canna. And because it is tall, I'm going to put it in the center of the planter so that they can kind of grow amongst each other. Next, I want to do all my fillers. So here I have a selection of perennials and annuals. When doing a patio planter just for your butterflies and your hummingbirds, it is okay to add your perennials, but if you want it to thrive for the next year, it's important that you take your perennials out of the planter at the end of the summer and plant them in your flower beds. That way they survive for the next year. So I'm going to add my ornamental onion. This one here, the allium, attracts butterflies and gets that big purple fluff of flower. It's like a ball at the top. I'm sure you've seen them around. It's a big purple flower. And because it's also quite tall, I'm going to plant it towards the center of the planter. Zinnias, I want to add some color, so I'm going to add them in and amongst. They're also quite tall. So I'm going to add a few of these because I do want the color. Got to satisfy yourself along with the butterflies and the hummingbirds. Here I have the blanket flower, which is a rusty orange color. It's not flowering yet, but it's just about to. Also, when I'm planting, I'm breaking up a little bit of the roots just so that they establish. And because it's nice and full, I'm going to put it as a filler at the edge of my planter. What else do I got? Verbena. There's different colors of verbena. There's yellows, pinks. This one has a variegate. This one will fill out throughout the planter. Lavender. Because who doesn't love lavender? You can also harvest it for many other purposes other than just for butterflies. My dahlia. Dahlias are one of the flowers that don't prefer fertilizer. So with this planter, because I'm adding the dahlia, I'm going to choose not to fertilize. If you do have a planter without a dahlia and you do want to fertilize, make sure that you choose an organic fertilizer because again, it is for the butterflies and the hummingbirds. I'm going to add a few little begonias on the edge. Hummingbirds love begonias and they're nice and colorful, so I want to make sure that you see them on the edge of the planter. And alyssum. Alyssum you can find in the 5-inch aisle along with the bedding aisle. And it is a pretty white flower that spills over that hummingbirds love. So I'm going to plant a few of them on the edge, and then eventually they will spill out, making a beautiful white foliage. I'm going to move these out of your way so you can see. I'm going to use quite a few alyssum because I think they're really pretty on the edge of the planter. Okay. Oh, lastly, I'm going to add the little firecrackers. We have them in 4-inch. They'll look great with the orange canna. And they have that cone shape to the flower, so hummingbirds will easily be able to stick their beak inside. So that's it. So I want to go around and I want to make sure that I have no gaps where I could add extra soil. In the back I have a little bit of room that I could add some soil, so I want to make sure that that's all filled in. And then when watering, just make sure that you water each individual plant from the soil, just to make sure that everything establishes. It's important that as soon as you plant your planter that you water it right away. So the reason we chose these specific plants is because they contain either a pollen or a nectar, which are great for pollinators. A few other plants that are beneficial to the pollinators would include butterfly bush, delphinium, sage, thistle, coneflower, and then lots of the herbs outside like oregano. We still have a huge selection outside, so if you want to go check it out, all the perennials are located along the glass of the greenhouse outside. And each plant has their own tag, which will help you identify what they're for. So they'll break down if it's for butterflies, if they're for hummingbirds. There's lots of signage also inside, and lots of girls that can give you a hand if you need anything. Since most pollinators are small and fragile, it's helpful to have them in a place where they will be protected. So when placing it on your patio, consider keeping it near the house or by a hedge, whether it be yew or boxwood. It gives them a safe place from the elements and from other predators that may hurt them. Pollinators are important to have in your garden because they transfer pollen from one plant to another. This leads to the production of fruits and vegetables, so your garden will be beautiful and bountiful. Bumblebees and honeybees and butterflies help create more plentiful and healthy gardens, of course. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope you guys picked up a few helpful tips from this video. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and we hope to see you soon. Bye!